Hey people, it is Wednesday, July the 31st. It is 11:22 in the morning and extremely hot here on the last day of July 2024. I think it's around 28 degrees and going to be heading for 30 degrees by the afternoon and feeling much hotter with the humidity. I'm on the corner of Yonge and Edward, looking north here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to head west along Edward over to Bay, and then when I get to Bay I'll go up to the next street and head back east over to Yonge again, and I'll just sort of keep doing that as I make my way north. Zigzagging my way. Oh, checking out some of the side streets off of Yonge Street here. Here we have BMV Books. Yeah. This is like 1,000? 1,000? Because it comes with some accessories. Yeah, the camera by itself is maybe like 700 and something. Right. Probably, yeah. Yeah. It's cool though. Yeah. Right. Have a good day. The camera gets quite a lot of attention when I'm out and about. I see a Value Village is opening here. This used to be the world's biggest bookstore. And T&T is also opening a location here. This is the Panda Condos. But I had a lot of good times hanging out at this location when it was the world's biggest bookstore. And we got the Atrium on Bay. It's a smallish shopping mall across the street with offices above. That dates from the 1980s. And downtown's only Red Lobster location there. It's been there as long as I can remember. And here we are at Bay Street. The old former bus terminal. Financial district to the south. Let's head up to the next street. That would be Elm Street.
Fresh air. Fresh air.
No matter what I do, I can't seem to stop my keys from jingling in my pocket here. There's, I think, so much street noise now, probably can't hear it too much. Looks like they finally wrapped up the road work they were doing here at Elm and Bay. All right, now back over to Young. Never been to Pumpernickel's before. Thought I'd walk on this side because I have walked down Elm a few times recently, but I always walk on the side with all the restaurants. But from here you can actually see the buildings that the restaurants are in. Very charming old townhomes. It can be quite lively here at certain times. This apartment building sort of kills the vibe though. And on this side, the entryway to the Chelsea Hotel definitely kills the vibe. It recovers here. Not quite as nice, but these buildings on this side are beautiful. This is called the Elmwood. I'm not sure what the history of this building is. I don't see any historic plaque sort of detailing the building's history. St. George's Hall. Where's this? And this one does have a plaque. St. George's Hall, built in 1891. Most of the buildings on this street probably date from around the same time. Some of them maybe a bit earlier. These ones are probably older. Barbarian Steakhouse. I believe that's Johnny Stride's favorite restaurant. And this old building has been facadized. Let's make way for this 69-story residential tower. It's starting to rise above ground here now. This will tower over the area. It will be quite visible from Yonge and Dundas. And we are back at Yonge, so let's continue north. This is quite a skinny building with very small footprint, so it should start to rise pretty quickly now that it's above ground. Here's a rendering, actually.
So the first time this happened.
But at 69 stories, it's going to be dwarfed by Concord Sky rising right across the street. That will be 85 stories.
Like they're back.
And it's starting to go well above ground now. Some old buildings were also facadized for this project. And this will just come in at 300 meters, just a hair over 300 meters. Depending on what side of the building you measure the height. So that qualifies as a super tall skyscraper, being 300 meters or more. Yeah, I think this is new. And here's my favorite restaurant on Yonge Street, Thai on Yonge. I've been there quite a few times. Haven't been there lately though. And we're at Gerrard Street. So I'll head back over to Bay.
Because that's another.
Here's the downtown IKEA store at the base of the Aura. Currently the tallest residential building in Canada, but obviously there's another building across the street that will surpass this one, and two other ones under construction which will also surpass the Aura. Got the Chelsea Hotel from the Gerrard Street side here. This is considered the largest hotel in Canada in terms of how many rooms. Although I think maybe parts of the hotel are not being used right now, so the room count probably isn't quite as high as it used to be. There was a proposal to actually demolish this entire hotel and replace it with some new towers, much taller residential towers, and a new hotel. There's a look into College Park. And the weird, creepy snowmen across the street. I'm surprised they're not puddles of water right now. Downtown's newest rabbit store. This is actually a rental apartment, not a condo. It's called the Livermore. But you are paying a ton to rent an apartment in the Livermore. It has all the amenities that you would find in a condo. And of course the prices are sky high. All right, back north now. Another way to get into College Park. There you can see the aura.
I used to take a while here and now.
The residences of College Park. These buildings attempted to sort of mimic the look of an old Art Deco skyscraper, but I don't think they really pulled it off. The materials they used were too cheap, in my opinion. Guy must be wanted by the authorities. All right, now the next street is College. And yet another way to get into College Park. All right, now east on College. Definitely going to stay on the shady side here. 777 Bay office complex here. It's connected to College Park with many shops and services inside, also some government offices. And I think there's even a consulate inside the office tower. And Fran's Restaurant, that's an awesome place to go. Open 24 hours. Sort of retro style establishment with classic burgers, fries, and milkshakes and whatnot on the menu. It's like going back to a simpler time. Awesome views looking north into the Strowley, as I like to call it. Alright, now we're back at Yonge. So I think I've done the zigging and zagging as far north as I'll go. So let's cross Yonge. And then I'm going to just continue east here along Carlton. Awesome old building there. I like how it's still holding its own on the corner, even though it's now in the shadow of all these huge towers. It hasn't lost any of its presence, as far as I'm concerned, anyway. Sort of an unassuming but substantial old building here, you know, it sort of is easily overlooked. This is always a nice stretch to walk along in the summer because it's almost always in the shade, the way the street curves and the tall buildings on either side. The old Carlton Cinema across the street. They have some classic movies playing, The Never-Ending Story, Beverly Hills Cop, and a bunch of new movies. Japanese bakery. Holiday Inn. This hotel has been here as long as I can remember, and it's changed brands many times over the years. I remember staying in there decades ago when it was a Days Inn. And the major landmark of Carlton Street, the Maple Leaf Gardens. Still very much in use in several different ways now. There's still an arena on site for the Matami Athletic Center. And it's also where the big fancy flagship Loblaws store is located. But of course, it's known as the home of the Toronto Maple Leafs for many decades until they built the new arena down in the South Core. But if you go inside the Loblaws, which is on the main level, in one of the aisles, you'll still find the marking of center ice. They placed it there right on the floor, just so everyone knows exactly where center ice used to be. And some of the old chairs from the arena are also inside, which are being used to create a big blue maple leaf. Well, since I'm here, why not go in and I'll show you. That might be a cool way to wrap up the video. We're at Church Street here. It is very nice and cold in here. Not just cool, downright cold. And there's the big maple leaf out of all the old chairs from what used to be the main hockey arena here in Toronto at Maple Leaf Gardens. Definitely pretty cool. And I'll take us to center ice to wrap up the video. Just to give me an excuse to stay inside this delightfully cool place for a bit longer. Maybe I'll see if there's any ice cream sandwiches on sale while I'm here. It's somewhere around here. I think it's over here. So there it is. That's where they would drop the puck. So that about wraps up this walk, I think. I hope you enjoyed. A bit of zigzagging on a very, very hot last day of July. We started at Yonge and Edward and made our way north as far as Yonge and College and continued along Carlton here to what used to be the Grand Dame of Toronto hockey arenas. Maybe it still is. So leave a comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Did you enjoy or not? Or anything else you might have to say. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And also make sure you hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. If you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal, as well as via my merch store. I suddenly have a frog in my throat. Or you can also support the channel by becoming a channel member or by sending a super thanks if you prefer. And you can find me on Instagram under KContinuum. So thanks for watching, and thanks to all the channel members. And be sure to keep checking back, because as always, I will continue.